What is your never again brand, item, store, or restaurant? AT&T from back in the days of long distance said they'd get me a good rate to Thailand, which we call all the time. Bill comes and it's 10x the advertised rate. I call. The first guy can't fix the bill. I escalate to a manager. He says you are correct. I'll fix your bill. Apostrophe. Next day he calls back and says we've decided not to fix your bill. Back in early 2000s, I had them for long distance calls as well. They charged a crap load of money, so I called to cancel the service. A month goes by and I get another bill from them for like $90 for maybe 15 minutes of calls. I contacted customer service and they said that while I cancelled my long distance, I didn't cancel local long distance, so they kept charging me. It took hours for them to concede it, that when I cancelled my long distance service, that I was cancelling all the long distance. They still wanted to charge me for the calls, but agreed to charge my new company's rate, which was $5 per minute. I actually had to send them a check for $60. Fuck AT&T for wasting hours of my life, and so much of my patience, to wring $60 out of me. Planet Fitness. Moved back to my home state from SF. Forgot to cancel my membership. Tried from the app. Nope. Tried from my local Planet Fitness. Nope. Said I had to mail in a copy of my license and as proof of membership. So I cancelled that credit card because that was easier than getting my membership cancelled. Temptations cat treats. There's something in those things that turn cats into absolute junkies. Ohio Savings Bank. They charged me $300 over the span of a year because, unlike normal debit cards, every time I put my PIN in instead of signing, it charged me an extra $1.50. By the time I caught it, most of the charges were past the 30-day refund policy, so they gave me $10 as a refund. I didn't make a fuss because I know it's not the worker's fault, but I did withdraw all my money immediately and switched banks. Fuck that place. Dollar Tree shredded cheese. Just don't. Please don't be like me and try it. Yours clothing. I got 3 hoodies for $72 plus 5 delivery and they were the lowest possible quality you could imagine. Paper thin fabric and some sort of light plastic zipper. On 2 of the hoodies the zips were broke. The other one was on backwards. There was no design. Just plain, but the coloring was off and some parts of it didn't look the same as they did on their online pics. One of them wasn't even the same size as the other 2 despite the label saying it was. That one also had some issue on the front. I took them back for a refund and the shop assistants were pretty shitty about it as well. I had to email if I wanted delivery refunded because they wouldn't do it in store. After all of that, I kept getting harassed by marketing texts, even though in my account I unsubscribed from everything. Ashley Furniture. Tried to use the extra protection plan we brought for our sofa that broke. They picked it up and then they tried to deliver it back to the wrong address 4 goddamn times. We were without a sofa for a month and a half when we were told us it would be 7 days because they couldn't figure out how to update our ducking address. I literally had to go into a physical location because their phone customer service just couldn't figure out how to update a simple address, and it was literal insanity. I wish I was exaggerating. Sprint. Couple of years ago they let someone buy over $2,000 worth of phones in my mom's name. Didn't ask for ID or anything. They got an address, but it was off by a couple of numbers. My mom didn't notice for a couple of months when her credit got flagged when they were trying to get approved for a loan or something. She fought with Sprint to get the charges removed from her credit. We've never had Sprint before, so don't know how that was a massive oversight, especially with no ID and the wrong address. I on the other hand have had nothing but good luck with Sprint. I even got $2,000 worth of phones for free. Greyhound. I will never step foot on one of their buses again. Every single time I've rode with them, something catastrophic happens. From buses breaking down to felons getting arrested mid-trip. I think it's safe to say I've had enough. Edit. Story time as requested by you/mom can't sleep Thesiger. It's a little long lol whoops. So in my sophomore year in college a few years ago I was on my way back home for Thanksgiving. Surprisingly, everything went smoothly with booking and boarding the bus for my trip. Naturally, I sat in a row with no people in it, so I could secure a window seat. That way I can listen to music and stare out the window the whole time to avoid people. Little did I know, I was in for a surprise. Some random guy decided he's going to sit right next to me. I thought nothing of it, since the bus was getting crowded anyway, so it seemed inevitable that the vacant seat next to me would be filled. I decided not to be so antisocial and made small talk with the guy. Turns out, he just got out of jail, on his way to wherever to start the next chapter in his life. I'm not put off by it at all, and was genuinely happy for him, since he seemed like a good guy. As the conversation came to a close, we were actually about halfway to our destination. I guess we were both astonished by how the time flew, because he told me he was going to go smoke in the bathroom in the back. Cool, I said as he got up and left. I glance back at the bathroom and see the big no smoking sign right over it. Geez, I don't think this guy is supposed to do that, I thought to myself. The smell of cigarette smoke quickly filled the already foul smelling bus, alerting the bus driver that someone was obviously smoking in the bathroom. The woman driving the bus made an announcement to remind passengers that we were not allowed to smoke in the bus, but the deed had already been done, and my new felon friend kept going. The bus driver gets really mad at this point and pulls over. I knew instantly that this would add at least a good 20 minutes, but that was a gross underestimate. Felon guy waltzes back out the bathroom clearly smelling like cigarette smoke, and that's when the driver starts to berate him via intercom. Apparently, she had heard his story about how he just got out of jail and did him a favor by letting him on for free. What a nice lady, at least before she got mad. It quickly escalated to her calling the police to escort him off of the bus as they continued to argue in the funky bus. It was an awkward half an hour wait before the police arrived to arrest the felon. By that time an hour had already passed, and I was already pissed. The traffic the rest of the way there was terrible too, adding another hour to the trip. Silly me for not learning my lesson after that trip, I guess. DoorDash. When 50% of my orders never made it to me, and one of the drivers cusses me out for having the audacity to ask for my food, they go on the never again list. Greyhound bus. If you've got no other option, buckle up. It's going to get weird. Target brand tampons. I'll skip the details. If you know, you know. Tesco value baked beans. Dodge Ram. Bought new. Had all service and oil changes done at the dealership. Paid above the monthly note and managed to pay it off about 6 months early. At 5 years / 47k miles it throws a rod. Took the issue all the way up the chain. Was told that because the note was paid off, that we got our money's worth on the truck. Our expectation that our truck should function beyond the length of the loan was unrealistic. FCK Dodge. Never again. Wells Fargo. 1. Fake account scandal. 2. Auto loan insurance scandal. 3. Mortgage loan scandal #1. Changing customer terms. 4. Mortgage loan scandal #2. 2008. 5. PPP loan scandal. Smoky Bones. I ordered a loaded nachos from them recently. It arrived. It was basically a pile of plain corn chips with maybe a tablespoon of cheese sauce. It included several tiny tablespoon portions of salsa, tomatoes, jalapenos, and sour cream. This was $13.00. Total waste of money. I will never order from them again. Anything from the Wonderful brand. Pom Wonderful, Wonderful Pistachios, Halos, Justin Wines, Fiji Water, etc. Billionaires from Beverly Hills destroying lives of farmers, depleting local farmers of their water, destroyed thousands of Valdas oak trees in San Luis Obispo County to plant more vines for their stupid wine. We all know the real reason is because of the water they now have access to there. I know a lot of families who have lost their farms because of them. They are big and powerful, and they know it. Just a bunch of assholes who don't seem to ever have enough money. Watch Water and Power on Netflix for more info. Side note, do you remember a time when it was just Cuties? But now there's Cuties and Halos. They used to be the same company. The owners had a big fight about when they were to harvest, so they split the trees up and went their separate ways. Paramount Farms, Halos, wanted to harvest early. When Sun Pacific, Cuties, wanted to wait to harvest. Same fruit. But I will always buy Cuties and never Halos. Screw Stuart and Linda Resnick. I also worked at Pum Wonderful for a year. Yes, I regret it. Edit, spelling. Edit. I guess Netflix took down the documentary I was referring to, but it's available to rent on Amazon, Vudu, and Apple TV for those who are interested in learning more about these crooks. Also was told Behind the Bastards podcast did an episode on them as well as The Dollop. I'll try and link the Dollops episode. The Dollop link. com/podcast/356. The Resnick's Water Monsters. American Buffets. Ryan's. Golden Corral. Old Country Buffet. Etc. I worked at one. Trust me. Do not. Edit. Added OCB. Spirit Airlines. The one time my family has flown Spirit there was a crushed taco salad in the pull down desk, and the whole plane smelled vaguely like baby powder. Victoria's Secret. Overpriced for meh quality. Never Again restaurant was Jamie Oliver's Italian. Bloody awful menu. Completely pretentious trite. I think they all closed down. Soon after she left me in 1998, my ex-wife wanted to meet for a post-mortem conversation. I suggested we meet at Pizzeria Uno. About 20 minutes into our agonizing conversation, she looked around and said, "Wait, you hate Pizzeria Uno?" I replied, "I sure do. I'm not going to ruin a place that I like with terrible memories. I'm never entering a Pizzeria Uno again. Apostrophe. And I haven't." Home Advisor. I'd swear it is just advertisements with fake reviews. I got a horrible contractor for a kitchen through them. It took over a year. They had 4.8 stars and hundreds of reviews on HA. They lost their BBB status in the process. I had to get the states to threaten their license just to get them to finish. Longhorn Steakhouse. Reason. All but 2 people in our party of 15 people got horrid food poisoning. Mine was so bad that I threw out my back from vomiting and retching, and couldn't take pain medicine without throwing it up. So I couldn't sleep because of having intense stomach and back pain that lasted a week. Next time that happens, not being able to take medicine without throwing up, ask for it in suppository form. Seriously, it will get into your system faster and provide instant relief. Edited to add, suppositories are made out of wax and need no loop to insert. Since they're made of wax and you're sticking them in your hot butthole, they melt and are absorbed into your body before you shit them back out. The phrase hot butthole makes me laugh. Best Buy. I bought a washer and dryer there, and I paid for installation. The guy came out, installed them, turned them on, and left. The washer started flooding my laundry room within minutes. I called them back, and they said they couldn't come back to fix it. They'll just bring me a new washer in a few days. New washer comes, gets installed, and again the guy leaves, even though I asked him not to. Again, it floods my laundry room. Again, they won't come back, even though it's just a few minutes later. They said they'd bring a new one in a few days, but I said duck it. I told them to take the washer and dryer back, and I'd purchase them elsewhere. It took them a whole week to come back and get them, and even then, only after I threatened to put them outside. When they finally took them back, I got a refund of 1 cent. 1 fucking cent. I had to spend hours on the phone with them to get the full refund amount. Then, they didn't refund me for the hoses, which they took back, and the installation, you know. That flooded my laundry room twice. It was another few hours on the phone to get them to give me that money back too. Bought a new washer and dryer at Costco later. Came the next day, installed in minutes, for free, and worked great. Was even cheaper than Best Buy. Seriously, duck Best Buy. Haribo sugar-free gummy bears. You know why. The local Chinese buffet after violent food poisoning. A lot of people don't truly understand how god-awful food poisoning is. Worst 3 days of my life hands down. Generic American cheese slices from Walgreens. Dog needed medication. We typically encase it in some yummy soft American cheese. Kraft was like $5. Ouch. No name was $1 for 16 slices. Sold. Kraft Slices also make a damn fine grilled cheese sandwich on the cheap. Except that the dog wouldn't touch it. Like actively turned away and refused to go near it. We had to get white slices when we went to the store next time because he needed to forget the yellow ones. It was that bad. Angel soft toilet paper. It might as well be called shitty fingers. Skullcandy headphones. Bought a pair once. They broke. Got them replaced. They broke. Got them replaced. They broke. Gave up. Didn't do anything out of the ordinary with them. I'd pull them apart a bit to place them over my head and snap. 2 pieces. Always Infinity. Worst pads I've ever used in my life. I've never had so much trouble with them getting bunched up, moving out of place, sticking to me, leaking, etc. than I did when I used those for a while. Planet Fitness. Manager called me after I had emailed about an issue and left a voicemail. Except when he hung up, he missed the receiver and I was treated to 2 minutes of him trash talking me. Called back and said yep, go ahead and cancel that membership and next time make sure you hang up. Fuck those change-ins. Please click subscribe if you enjoyed this video.